for Star Wars hit the internet, and then it exploded along with my brain. Even the geese are excited. That chrome stormtrooper. Oh my god, I want it now. Anyway, I was tagged to do the Star Wars book tag by my friend Bangity Banks, who just invented it. The way this tag works is there are 7 characters selected from Star Wars that we are supposed to equate with other characters in other books, or other forms of literature. First up, Han Solo. Can we just talk about him and Chewie coming home for a minute?
Chewie, we're home.
I freaked out. My mom freaked out. Harrison Ford is like her favorite actor ever, and Star Wars is like one of her favorite movies ever. It was a nice moment. So I scoured my brain for other Han Solo-esque characters besides Han Solo, and I was having a hard time coming up with it. It's just like, it's such a magic, it's hard to reproduce. One character did keep coming up, but it's a character from my book. So I feel like it's just not appropriate for to use in a tag since my book's not out yet. But then as I'm going through this list, I started realizing that almost all my characters took a lot of heavy inspiration from Star Wars characters, and I didn't really realize that until right now. But that's not really surprising, I guess, because Star Wars was like my biggest inspiration, and I watched it like basically every day when I was 9 years old. So anyway, I eventually landed on not Harry Potter, from Harry Potter, Sirius Black. Because at first we think he's bad, but you know, we don't exactly know his intentions, but he turns out to be a good guy, which is, you know, basically what Han Solo is. Next up is Obi Wan Kenobi, and he fills the role of like the helpful old man / wizard that introduces and teaches the hero about this new world that he's a part of. And for this I've chosen none other than Gandalf, of course, because he helps Frodo along, teaches him all the stuff he doesn't know, and then, you know, he dies. And he is literally a wizard, so. Next up is Darth Vader. Probably my favorite character of all time. For this one, you're supposed to pick a character who is evil, but kind of redeems themselves in the end. So I'm going with Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, because when he first comes to Earth in the Saiyan Saga, he is evil, man. He is blowing up cities, he is killing people. Yamcha, dead. Piccolo, pretty much dead. Tien, dead. Everyone's dead. He's killed everyone. He's like reluctantly on the good team for the rest of the show until it finally solidified that he's like a changed person in the Buu Saga when he blows himself up. He has a sweet little moment with Trunks, and you know, it's reminiscent of Luke and Darth, you know, their last little moment together on the Death Star.
Oh, this is embarrassing.
Next up is Princess Leia. So for this one, we're supposed to pick a character who's a strong woman in a leadership role, who also happens to get kidnapped a lot. I wanted to take a more modern take on it. And say Cortana from the Halo series, because she does get kidnapped. Not kidnapped so much, but she gets left behind a lot.
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep.
You know, she's definitely in a position of power. She runs the Pillar of Autumn. And another similarity, she's got like this awkward love thing going on with the main character.
John. I've waited so long to do that.
But instead of being siblings, she's an AI and he's a real person. So it can never be. Next up is R2-D2. This is supposed to be a funny companion robot, Belio, but like I don't read anything with robots in it. I don't really like sci-fi because it's never sci-fi enough for me. There's never enough science in it for me. It's more just whatever. Thinking through this one though, I found some interesting similarities with Kingdom Hearts. Donald and Goofy are like the side characters in this one, and they are strangely reminiscent of R2-D2 and C-3PO, even with what they're wearing. He's even got the same color scheme as R2-D2, and a little bit there. I mean, Goofy's nowhere near as smart as C-3PO, but you get the point. And you also can't understand what Donald's saying, for shit. So, same thing. Number 6 is Chewbaca. Self-explanatory here. Sidekick that's kind of maybe an animal and doesn't really talk, but he's very muscly. And the obvious choice to go with here is Groot.
I am Groot.
Well, that's just as fascinating as the first 89 times you told me that.
There's just no other answer for this. They are the same character, except one's a tree and one's a Wookiee. Number 7 is Luke Skywalker. When describing this righteous hero, I should probably move up into this holy light that's enveloped my... For Luke, I know I said it wasn't appropriate to talk about my own book, but my main character, Grayson, was directly related to Luke by an editor from Tor / St. Martin's Press. He's like, oh, so it's like a Luke Skywalker-esque main character? And I almost teared up because that's like pretty much the best compliment I've ever received, ever. I mean, it's not that far-fetched because in some ways every protagonist is the young kid who's got to find his way in the new world and fight evil and blah, blah, blah. But there's definitely some special link that they have, at least in my mind. Who knows? Also, they both have lightsabers. Last on the list is actually 8, I lied. Jar Binks, and this is just a character that really annoys you. For this, I mean, I could do the thing that everyone thinks I'm gonna do and say Cassie from the 5th Wave, or that other bitch from Across the Universe, but I'm gonna choose a different girl because I'm reading another story at the moment. Throne of Glass. And Selena is again one of the most annoying protagonists I've ever encountered. Why do I just strike out with all of these protagonists? She's not unbearable like those other two were, but as Thoughts on Tomes puts it, she's very disappointing. I'll explain in my review, coming soon. So yes, that's done. I can't wait to see the movie. I'm going to tag people who I think like Star Wars. I don't know. Michael Booklion, Chapter Select, the Book Archer, David Reed's Words, and the Book Swatch. Okay. Alright, cool. See you soon.